waking up to find that she had vommed everywhere.
Everywhere.
Birds, five birds, birds, five birds, birds, five birds, five birds and a mic.
Okay, hello, welcome to episode 51, lockdown version take 3. Is it 3? I feel like I've lost count now.
Something like that.
3.0.
But we're 3.0, but we're in, we're all right. But we do have some stories to tell you. We've got some random things going on. We've had some random things since we last saw you, because obviously we recorded twice, didn't we, over Christmas? And now we are back with, I wanted to say vengeance, that's the wrong thing. We're back, what are we back with? Is anyone feeling fresh and fruity?
I've just had a bag of Skittles, so I guess so.
Wired, so maybe wired.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that sugar bomb to just straight on me.
Yeah, and then the down. I'm currently in the bathroom because, not because I want to show it off, because it's finally
A little bit
finished.
because you want to show it off, just a little bit.
It's not, honestly, it really isn't, because it's not the most comfortable. It's more the fact that we decided it was really clever to have the internet moved so that it was more effective in the sitting room. So now in the bedroom, I can't get internet, so that's annoying. So I'm in the bath, which is not comfortable, but actually fully clothed, so it's not really that exciting. George is in her now fixed address of Derbyshire.
I am indeed.
Living it up, lived in, fella at home. Ready-made family.
Done it. Didn't have to do any of the hard bits either. Just went and got a ready-made one. The easiest thing I've ever done.
Is that your advice?
You're full on love. We were saying this yesterday, weren't we? And that it's really nice, but you've literally gone about 5 years ahead, haven't you, in a relationship? And you're in lockdown, so now you're a teacher as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as of tomorrow, I've got him on my own for a solid 12 hours. But the lucky thing is that when Steve leaves to go to work, I can probably get another 2.5 hours, maybe even 3 hours of sleep out of Teddy.
Oh, wow.
Because, Steve leaves so early, doesn't he? Steve will leave at like 6. So if I can get Teddy to stay asleep longer, that reduces the time that I have to worry about keeping him alive.
It's a good plan. And to be honest, then you could be like, oh, he was just too tired. I couldn't really do anything with him. We just watched TV.
Then he can have a lazy morning. I'll give him breakfast, play a bit, I'll get him dressed, I'll walk him to Aldi for some made-up reason so he goes outside, because I know he's not going to want to play football with me because I'm rubbish. So he gets fresh air, we'll learn about stuff on the way, and then we'll come back, I'll feed him again, and then Steve will be home.
Perfect. So you just didn't have time.
Easy.
You didn't have time for homeschooling.
I'm not very bright, so it's really not within anyone's best intention for me to be teaching him anything.
You could do history. I think you could do history.
He's only into Egyptians.
Just stick Bridgerton on and let that do its thing. Teach you about everything.
Just stick the
sex
mummy on.
education and everything.
Tim did the homeschooling yesterday because we were sorting out the shop and you guys getting angry at me being messy. And he came and said, I didn't know half of what it was. And I was like, it's a 7-year-old Tim. But there was angles and there was things. I was like, what, greater than and less than? He said, yeah, I just didn't know it. Albert just did it. I sat there and watched him. It's like, okay, brilliant. That's fine. That's fine. If anyone can hear noises, it isn't any of us. It's Meg has people in her room, don't you?
Yeah, they've just left.
She got guests.
So if anyone noticed that Meg was being very polite then, that was because she had cleaners in her room, because she's that posh. Why have you got cleaners in your room, Maggie?
Well, the bulk of it was done this morning, and I sat downstairs and the bulk of it was done. But then I had to have extra work done to my room. Oh. But now it's gone. Now there's no trace. So technically, it didn't happen.
So the smell's gone, the stain's gone.
The stains are gone.
They got it off every surface.
Everything. It's gone.
I hope you're gonna tip her.
You back? All right.
No.
They're outside. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
So context of this is Meg's New Year's Eve ended up with her waking up to find that she had vommed everywhere.
Everywhere.
Emma was really proud of you as well. She was literally like, "Oh, I'm
So
so proud. Well
proud.
done."
I was just like, I am not proud of myself right now. But I have come to the conclusion that I went into the new year probably at the lowest I've ever been.
Things can only get better.
In terms of dignity and everything, I have started at the bottom.
Well,
And it's only going to get better.
don't
Yeah.
It's only
tempt
going to get
fate,
better from
mate.
here.
Don't tempt fate. You still had your pants on and you were in your own room face down vomiting into your carpet. That it could. There is possibilities for that to get worse. And you've just gone and tempted fate. So I can't wait for that night.
No. Dry January is well and truly on the way. It'll
Does
be
it
a
make
dry
you-
few months, to be fair. Before
Really?
before I even go back down that route again.
Does it make you not want to at all?
Ever. Never
Well,
again.
we didn't really believe it until she brought in her ASOS bag that she had to send back with all the clothes that she bought pre-Christmas. And what was on it, Meg?
I could just smell something. And I didn't know if it was just maybe still on my body. Or I
She
could
started
just still
fastening
try
it
and
up.
smell
She
it.
started like folding it and then she sealed it. Then she picked it up and then she started sniffing it. It was like a Yorkshire Terrier with a new bone. She was on the floor in the shop sniffing the parcel.
I knew I could smell it, but I couldn't see it. And I was like, I checked the contents of this to make sure that in my whole world of madness, I didn't go, that's a big bag. Because that would have made sense. And then that would have just been, that would have been worse. So I did check the inside and never thought to check the outside. That's where the smell was coming from. But I cleaned it up and I sent it back, so it's somebody else's job now.
It's fine. It's fine. So if they had to double clean your bedroom.
Oh, I've had to pay extra for the carpets to be shampooed and cleaned because I have a cream carpet and it was stained. And I have been on my hands and knees for days trying to get that cleaned up. But I knew it was still there, and if I touched it, and then I could just, it was there still, and it needed to be industrially cleaned. So at least that's sorted.
Oh, it's just not. Then you're not walking into your room,
Knowing it's there.
Yeah. It's like when you've cut an onion and it goes right in your fingernails and you're forever smelling a bit of onion.
Yeah, or like garlic or something. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it's gone now. So now I've got no traces of it. I've got no memory of it. Did it happen?
Well, you can say no now.
No, it didn't. No one needs to know.
All you need to do is now kill the people that witnessed it and you're done.
Yeah. And everyone who listens to this podcast.
Yeah. Well, our numbers have dropped, so it might not be that many you have to seek out, so it's fine. Although lockdown might increase it again because people are bored. But thank you for the
Nothing to do.
listeners. But don't worry, Meg won't find you. She's fine. She'll just ask you not to say anything.
Yeah, don't judge me.
I don't think it's something that people would judge you for. You're so to be honest, most of us have been there and done that, and a bit like that's pretty normal. I remember one time actually vomiting up half a cherry tomato and some pasta right through the nose. I actually remember feeling it and witnessing it coming out.
Oh.
That was weird.
Oh,
But
I don't think
it
I
was
did
full of
that.
force. It was coming out anywhere.
Oh.
You know when you got that pressure and it almost feels like it's going to come out of your eyes soon. That feeling.
God.
Yeah. But hey ho. It's not. I'd rather not. I'm one of these people that I will do anything possible to not. I'm not good at it. It's an awful experience for me. I'd rather sit and let it just go through my body and come out the other end in a few hours. I cannot get it back up. I'm not good.
I don't think anyone enjoys it. I don't think
No,
anyone
but some
would.
people say, if I'm sick, I'll feel better for it, and then they carry on drinking.
Yeah, they call it a tactical chunder.
Oh, do they?
Tactical chunder. As soon as you feel like you're getting a little bit worse for wear, you take yourself off outside, and then
Oh
you go back
no.
and finish off the night. I can't do that because as soon
I
as the
can't do
first
that.
sick comes out, I'm done. You don't want to be anywhere near me after that.
It can be done, but it's when I don't know the six come in and I've got a bit too giddy and then I'm like, oh Jesus. I can feel the sweat, the pre sweat coming. But yeah, there's been a handful of times where I've managed to get to the toilet, get it all up, swig my wine and be like, yes, sound. And then I'd have a banging night. It's only happened happened a
can't
couple
do
of
that.
times, but
Nope, that's not something that I have mastered yet. Maybe it'll come with age. I don't know. But
it doesn't last
very
very long, I'll tell you that for free, because now I'm in the stage where I could vom all day when I'm hungover.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you do. You do weird little moments of retches, don't you, in your mouth?
Yeah.
I'm normally okay the next day. It's the night, and then I'll wake up and I'm hungover, but I'll never be sick the next day if I've been sick the night before. It's all come out. I can start fresh.
It's the way George does it. It's the way you do it, G. You're chatting, and then suddenly you just go, hum.
Oh.
Because I can feel my throat goes really hot, like an acid reflux. So I'm like, oh, fucking hell, here we go. I'm going to get heartburn. And then I'll be like, oh, I'm fine. And I'll carry on talking. And then it just like comes up and partially fills my mouth. So I'll be like talking like this, and then it's like a
Yeah.
and then it's like I have a moment where my body goes, right, can we swallow this? Right, back talking again.
We did it in Zurich. We were looking at veils, and it happened a number of times when you were choosing veils. Like, do you want to go? No, it's gone.
Power
Forget
through.
about.
Power through.
Yeah, I've got to ignore it. If I allow myself to be like, oh, I'm hungover, that's when shit kicks off.
Yeah.
If I just ignore it, I can power through to a degree.
I've got a friend that says that if you think it isn't, you just don't think it's happening. Just ignore the hangover, and it's not there.
Yeah.
But she's just very lucky because mine seems to knock on the door constantly in my head. Like, hello, you're really ill. Anyway, we're going to talk. We have actually got a topic today. I'm sorry, I'm ignoring you, Andrew. We have got a topic today because we found it out yesterday. We found this topic out as we were talking about things, and Meg and I both said we did not know that about you, G. So we learned.
Yeah.
We learned something about Georgina yesterday that is quite surprising, and some of you might actually be quite surprised. So if you sit in a room with George and you watch a saucy little film that's not porn, so it's not you're not directly thinking, right, I'm going to do this. You're watching something, they schmooze, they start inserting in each other. George,
In each
at
of
her
us.
face. Well, one will, won't it? Sometimes. Look at George's face.
My whole back
Yeah.
is just stiffened up. My
There we
whole
are.
back.
Oh, how can
Can't.
you not enjoy it? I don't get it.
I can't. I'll tell you for why. Because, like, let's take something like, everyone's watching Bridgerton at the minute. So let's take Bridgerton. So it's a lovely period drama. We're looking at the costumes. We're listening to the language. We're following a simple yet enjoyable story plot, okay? Ooh, love interest, little kisses, cuddles, a little finger touch in the art gallery. Delightful, right? I know what you're insinuating. They have their first kiss. Don't mind that because it's like it's tender and everyone's nervous. It's when they get all ferocious and their mouths are open and then they're touching each other and then they're naked and they're writhing, they're writhing around. And it's like, sorry, do you want me to step out the room? Do you
get nervous on your own? Even if you're on your own, do you get nervous?
I'll fast forward it. I can't. My back just making me think about it. Like my hands, it's like a reaction. I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like I apologise if this is offensive, but it's almost a bit like a Tourette's reaction. You know, it's like it's a trigger. Like no, I can't do it. Not enjoyable.
So
for me.
funny. It's not something I would ever think that you would cringe at. I thought you'd be all because we do because we obviously we talk about sex a lot.
Yeah.
And you're quite is it because when you know it's going to be a conversation like that you're fine?
Yeah. It's when I know.
Meg's left. Meg's left.
Meg's disgusted with it. She's had enough. She's gone. Yeah, when I know if we're having a conversation about it, then that's fine because it's part of the topic. It's like, obviously we won't dive into detail, but it's like when we were at the shop yesterday and we were chatting about one thing, and then Emma just like comes in and fly kicks you with a sexy topic, and I was sat right next to her trying to eat my chicken and sweet corn sandwich. Like, what? And she's going into detail, and it's like, I can't breathe. You cannot go from talking about the kids to talking about that.
With Robert. I don't mind, because it's talking about Robert. I'm quite happy.
Can't do it. Nope.
Even if it's Robert Dowd.
Nope.
What happened?
What? So if
made it worse. I'll tell you why, and it made it worse because in my head I was like, come on, all the girls are acting really cool. I was like, just imagine Rob, and then I was like, oh God, what if he's got like a weird sex face, or what if he gets all like, what if he says weird shit, but what if he doesn't say that, but I imagine that he does say it, and now when I look at him, I'm just gonna have that on loop. Like that's where I can't.
Do you get funny if it was Steve was next to you and you're watching Bridgerton, or is it just
worse?
Worse.
It's worse. It's worse because Steve gets right into every programme, like watching The Chase the last night, and it was like Beat the Beast or whatever it was. So they're on like a timer against each other. Steve's on the edge of his seat. He's like, oh, go on, Susan. All right, I want you to win it. You go and have your eyebrows done. Oh, she won it. He's like, hands up, he's clapping. He's right into the TV he's watching. Like if the advert comes out with the kids who've got dirty water and that, he's like that. He's like that. Oh God. Oh, look at his little face. And it's like, fucking hell, Steve, come on, babe. He doesn't even know that you've seen his ad. And he's like, oh, can't watch this, breaks me heart. He gets right into everything. Whereas I don't, but I don't know. So no, it's worse. It's worse because if Steve's next to me, he's like, oh, look, he's loving that, isn't he, babe? And I'm like, oh, God, now we've got commentary, like.
So do you cringe? What is your level of cringe then? What are you satisfied with? She's back. Maggie's back.
She's back.
For
God's sake.
Like, what am I comfortable with?
Did you watch?
Yeah.
Did
What's
you
your
watch,
level of
something like that when you were a kid with your parents, and then that's like made you cringe forever?
Yeah. What's it?
I tell you what, I think the distinct. So I remember watching Shakespeare in Love and being sent out of the room and not understanding why I was sent out of the room. And I was like, yeah, all right, fine, I'll go and get a snack. But then I remember watching Titanic and of being a close enough age of being able to watch it, and I was just left in the room. I think everyone was that engrossed in it. And it was the moment in the car, you know, when it's like...
with the hand. Yeah.
And it went down. And oh, we're going to have an admission. I remember the first time watching that, and you know when you're a girl and it's like the first time that your foof reacts to something like that.
Oh, okay.
Get a little tingle.
It felt like I was going to wee myself, and I didn't understand what was going on because I was like, I know I don't need a wee, but why are you telling me we need a wee whilst we're watching this? Like, what in good God's name is happening? So I don't know whether it's triggered from that moment because that's quite a discreet scene. Yeah, it's steamy, it's hand, and your imagination goes off, or when you get a bit older, it goes off. And I'm fine with that. That's lovely, very arty. So I think anything more than that,
Foof can't take it.
No, I just go into meltdown. It doesn't even get to me, Foof. She doesn't even get to communicate. It gets to like my mid-rib cage, and everything just starts spazzing up.
Who's let the dogs out?
I've got 3 Labradors in the house. They're all idiots.
Ooh.
So
you back, Maggie. Does anything make you cringe then, Meg?
Oh, loads of things. Not sex though. That don't make me cringe.
See, you are a bit of a juxtaposition because you are so funny about poos and your body in terms of that sort of feeling on display, yet I don't know if we can say where you almost had a revelation where you were like, I think I'm quite good at sex. You're really you're really
it was
confident.
more that I was like, oh, I mean, I'd been with one person for a very long time. Things might have changed. I might have been, like, you just don't know.
Tastes have changed.
Like,
Things
in
have moved
Friends,
on.
when,
Things have happened.
Who
yeah.
says it? Monica and Phoebe are there, and says, "What am I thinking?" Do you know what I'm talking about? She says, "Tell me what I'm thinking." She's like, and Phoebe's like, "You're thinking that it's been so long."
It's Ross, and it's like, so yeah. Have they changed sex?
You had sex that they've changed it, and she goes, "No, but now I am." Sorry.
Yeah.
Friends reference.
Yeah. That was my panic. And then it was just, I can do it. I'm fine. So that was a nice moment.
But you are odd in that you're like that, yet you're very confident in situations like that. Yet not with other little things.
Like poos.
You think they go hand? I don't know. Would you think they'd go hand in hand?
I just get embarrassed at like things you shouldn't get embarrassed about, like saying thank you at like a zebra crossing, like that sort of thing. Like I get embarrassed at that. That makes me cringe.
What?
I get embarrassed.
No,
I get embarrassed.
We've covered this,
What?
Emily.
Stop.
We've done this.
Yeah, but it's just the hand. You don't cringe at it. Do you cringe at it?
Oh, I cringe at myself. I find that so embarrassing. Like I get embarrassed filling my car up.
What?
It's just weird, isn't it? Like you stood there filling it up and you're like, what if I'm doing it wrong and people are watching me? And I get really embarrassed about it. I get embarrassed when I have to use my windscreen wipers. Because what if I'm doing them too fast and no one else is this aggressive? So then I have to, I'm in my car and I'm watching what other people are doing when they're driving past, and I'm like, didn't have his on that fast. Slow it down, but then I can't see. So then what do? You either go fast so you can see properly, but then you're embarrassed. Oh, it's the daily stresses. And that, yeah, I just cringe at myself doing them because I just get embarrassed.
You're like anxiety on legs.
Yeah, I feel stressed. You've got a 5-minute commute and the stress in your head to get there because you've got a zebra crossing, you've got 2 crossings,
two traffic lights, and I tell you what the worst part is the bit where I have to do my first turn at the traffic lights. It's a right turn. I can't just go because they're coming. I have to stop, but then I panic because I'm like, where do I stop? Because I can't just turn because they're coming, aren't they? I've got to wait until there's a gap before I can turn onto the road.
Where do you drive?
But then I panic because what if I'm too far back and then the cars behind me are getting annoyed because they can't get through the lights? What if I go too far and I've got to do a weird turn to get into the road? What if I'm too far across and the cars have got to go around me and they get pissed off? What if I'm too far? There's just a lot of panic.
Your brain needed a rest in this lockdown because, my God, I'm exhausted, all of that. And that's only a little bit. You've got to go all the way down the hill, worry that your brakes are going to work, then reverse, then park.
Parking, yeah. It's just hell.
Parking will never get old with Megan, ever.
She's
do you know what?
She's only a 15-minute walk as well. You'd think if it was this bad, she'd walk?
No. Because then I've got to deal with everything else, haven't I? I've got to deal with the walking embarrassment.
Where do you look? Who do you look at?
What do? Do you get your phone out and just start scrolling on the apps? You're not doing anything, but at least you look like you've got friends.
You're just walking to work, babe.
No, but it just feels too awkward.
How long?
Yeah? What do the arms do? Am I doing too big strides? Am I not doing enough strides? Am I walking too quickly?
So you look like
Yeah, exactly. Do you make eye contact with the people you're walking near?
And the cars that you're having to walk past, and then it's that awful moment where something makes you laugh.
Yeah.
And you look up and you realise you're walking next to traffic.
Yeah.
And you're that weirdo Smiling to
Smiling.
themselves. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Really
what about the zebra
embarrassing.
crossing? Because if you're the other side, you're not the driver at a zebra crossing. Do you feel cringy when you say thank you then?
Of course. You've got. What do you mean? If I say thank you to anybody, it cringes me. Like in that, if I've got to do a gesture.
Any gesture of thanks, and I feel highly uncomfortable.
Yeah. You
I
just
remember
don't
when
know
we
how to do it.
Do you remember when we were trying to get her to understand how to do a handshake, George?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no one ever did it either. So that was pointless. That was a pointless practice. I didn't need to shake anyone's hand.
What was
Yeah,
that
but-
for?
When I were moving in here,
That is true. Yeah.
when we thought they were all civilised, but they're not. I learned that very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teaching you how
didn't
to
last.
handshake. Yeah.
Oh, yes, because she came in with like this limp.
I just don't like it. It's weird contact. I don't want to hold hands when I've only just met you. That's weird. I just don't like handshakes. It's a
Don't you
pointless
feel like
thing.
if you're first meeting someone, I thrive off that. If I'm first meeting someone, I like a good handshake. One, the handshake will tell me a lot that I need to know. But two, I think you can just pick up on someone's vibe. Mm-hmm. If you can just get a bit of a boop, like a
It
boop.
scares me. Not enough people do it for it to feel like a normal thing. So if
Yeah,
someone
we need
comes
to
at
bring
me
it
with a
back.
hand, someone comes out with my hand,
no.
I just panic and I don't know how to do it, and then I'm caught off guard, and then I know it's not good. And like you said, you judge people who handshake, judge off the handshake.
Oh,
And
I
I'm not
judge
gonna
you.
give a first. I'm not going to give a good first
No,
impression if
you
that's
didn't.
the way it is.
No,
wouldn't.
you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
No, you'd get a terrible
I'd
one.
sack
too
you.
nervous.
I'd sack you.
I'd never
right
have
off.
hired you. I'd never have hired you if I hadn't handshook you like you handshook me at practice.
Yeah.
I give good hugs though. Hugs is nice. I'd rather hug someone when I first meet them than shake the hand.
Was there no handshake at Meg's
What?
interview?
When have you ever hugged
Initially.
anybody?
No. I can't. Did we handshake? I don't think we did we?
I mean, that whole thing was a blur. If you think I'm anxious walking across the road, imagine how I was feeling on that day.
It's all right because you had your hand necklace, so it's fine.
Dude, I was lucky.
The lucky
I was lucky. I was very sweaty. That's all I remember.
The lucky hand.
I
of
hope
doom.
you didn't shake my hand because I'll have been dripping.
Oh, if I'd shook George's hand, we would have judged each other and thought, yeah, fine, we're all right with each other.
Yeah, we shook hands. I know we
Did
shook.
we?
That would
Yeah,
have been a
yeah, we
strong
shook hands.
handshake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would have
Not a
been like
lingering one though. I
David
wouldn't have thought we were a
No.
linger.
Documentary, the Alpha. Fighting for position.
I like that though. See, the weird thing, Maggie, is that you are so much stronger than you give yourself credit for, and that's why I think your handshake's really annoying because it's a bit like it doesn't actually really describe who you are. It's almost your anxiety coming out in a handshake rather than actually your
Yeah, but that's not
true
who
sense.
she is, though.
I
That's-
think I'd have to lead the
That's her example.
handshake. I think if I went in knowing I was giving one, I'd prepare myself for it, and my hand I'd put everything into the hand. Whereas if I get caught off guard, I just kind of like slap with them, and I'm like, oh god, now they're just holding me, and that's really awkward, and I just want to get away. I just don't like it.
But isn't it that's
Oh.
her anxiety? That's not actually her because she's very strong. She's
Yeah.
a strong person, but there's the symptoms of that the anxiety, not actually.
Either way, you've got a shit handshake.
Yeah. So you either
That's
need
fine.
to cancel out that anxiety and learn it. We've practiced this. We've even practiced it where you know you're doing it, and even then you're a bit like, oh, I don't. it
Yeah,
just-
but like we're in COVID times, and I feel like it's something I can avoid for a while. It's
Very
not-
true.
You know, people aren't going to be touching. I don't want to touch people, so I'm happy to just put that to the back, and I'll deal with something essential at the moment. But
They're doing this weird essential, like
Yeah.
like saying thank you at the zebra crossing in an effective way. But
Being
they're doing that
sick.
weird thing where it's the elbow or being sick, the elbow thing. Isn't
now
it?
that's just
I can't-
odd because your
I cannot
faces
get
are
into
closer.
that.
Your faces are closer. That's the issue.
Technically, I'm going to go with Megan. For once, I'm going to say I go with Megan on this because with a handshake,
Completely right.
you're at full
At
arm,
least,
aren't you?
yeah.
Whereas with the
yeah.
elbow,
And then
you're
if you look
halving that,
away-
and then it's like a.
And the faces, it's
It's not
so
an MC
weird.
Hammer dance, is it? It's like no, like you can't.
You see politicians stuff. It's just I don't know. I just find it really embarrassing. I find stuff like that really embarrassing. This sounds awful because my dad does it, and it doesn't really bother me with my dad. I cannot sit in a room with someone singing and playing the guitar or something.
No,
it would cringe me out. So sometimes when I watch, even you saying when Steve does the piano.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got the thing in my throat. I cringe at the pictures.
Oh,
no, Andrew, don't.
Hey.
God.
you're
And I
really
don't know
happy
if
with
it's
yourself.
because I'm not sure what they want. I'm not sure what they want me to do. Because do they want me to
boy.
clap? If I do too much, I go into a bit of a Meggie thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm worried if it's going to be shit,
And it
I
will
have
be.
to overcompensate. If it's
Yeah.
really good, I don't want to be a bit like, oh wow, because then I sound shocked that
They're
I
that
like
good.
it.
Yeah.
Is this why you won't come to a karaoke night? Karaoke nights are amazing.
Can't stand karaoke.
Oh.
For the same thing.
Oh,
For the
I
same
love
thing.
it. And for a small amount of time, but I love it because they're either really shit, which is great, and they're the best ones, or they think they're good and they try too hard, and then you can just cringe at them.
That's what I hate.
Oh, I love it.
I like the really crap ones. I can listen
Yeah.
to karaoke all night if it's someone I'll do a Dolly
Drunk.
Parton 9 to 5,
Yeah.
messing around. It's the ones that get up and think they're Mariah Carey.
Yep.
And they're okay club singers, whatever they want to be. And then it's a bit like you do this every week. I guarantee they do this every single
Yeah.
week.
Thrive with it.
Oh God, it's awful. It's awful. I can't. I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy stuff like that. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. That is like watching Bridgerton or whatever with a hand going down the thigh for George.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird. Weird. What's yours, Andrew?
I
What's
can't
yours
watch
cringe?
sex
What's
scenes
your
in films
cringe?
either. Horrible.
Good.
Good.
Why?
I tolerate any kind of romantic thing in a film as it is. Like I don't care about any kind of romantic storylines or anything like that as it is.
I don't like.
But
I
then when
don't
they
like
start,
romantic
kissing
stuff.
and, it's just like ugh. Is there time or a place? I'm watching films for a certain reason, and the reason isn't to watch sex scenes. Do you know what I mean?
I love it when you get slapped in the face with one of them because it's a shock.
Slapped in the face.
What?
What?
Say something else. Like with one of
What?
them scenes, like when you're not expecting it, and then it's like
I thought you were
Yeah.
taking that
I
in a
thought
completely
that was
different
going,
angle
yeah.
then. Yeah.
like
I'm
I just
not-
love it when you're watching it and you're like, this
What
is
did I
nice,
used to
this
watch?
is sweet,
And
and
then
all of a sudden someone gets
I-
thrown
I-
against a wall.
It's a waste
And
of time. It's a
I would
waste of
always
time
walk
for
out
me.
and make a cup
No.
of tea. What?
Yeah.
And then someone called me out on it. But because I would never say I don't want to watch this. Fast forward it. I'd just be like, oh, anyone want a cup of tea? Do that all the time. I think it was in a student house I was living
What film?
in.
But it is a bit. To me, it's a bit like you can tell if the director's a bit sex starved because they go really deep on the old sex scenes that are pointless. You could cut those out quite succinctly
Fade to black.
because it's that annoying thing where you don't really need. It's the same as if they blow up a car and then you see it from 5 different angles. It's
I disagree with
absolutely
that, but
pointless.
yeah.
You know the car's blown up. You don't need to see the car blown up 5 different times. You don't. It's the same as you don't need to see it.
I don't want to see a car blowing up, but seeing 2 people getting it on's fun.
It's just I'm like Andrew. I don't watch a film to be reminded of what I don't do regularly.
True. Living at the in-laws'
I'm
house.
sitting there with Tim, and Tim's like, yeah, you've had your 2 babies. You're done, mate.
Well, that's what I cringe at. I'm not very cringy. I don't know. I'm sure there's stuff that I cringe about.
There's got to be stuff we've said that you've cringed at.
Not really. I guess what...
You've
I guess
laughed
when,
at.
when you ever start talking about sex or anything like that, but it's not really a cringe. You're just like, I just switch. I go to my happy place. Like, zone out.
Where's your happy place?
Probably like watching cars blow up from 5 different angles. I don't know why I cringe. That's a really good
It's.
question.
I guess.
I must do.
I think males probably cringe more at female anatomy bits and talking about
No, I don't cringe
periods
at
and things.
all.
A bit. No, do you not?
I've got a sister and a
Are you
mum
not bothered by
who
that?
I'm really close to. Like, grew up with. My sister's only a year older than me, so there's no like, yeah.
You've seen it all, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know.
I was with a guy for 8 years who refused to buy me
Cool,
sanitary towels.
cool.
What?
And then, yeah, but you think that's normal then, don't you?
He refused.
Yeah, never, ever,
Not normal.
ever
Not normal.
done that. If I've asked him when he were out in town or anything
normal.
to buy me some, no, point, refused, never, ever associated with it.
Weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, well, there we are. I
Yeah,
wonder if
red
you'll
flag.
I wonder if you'll get a text message to say that you've been bad mouthing him again. For that.
Well, he should man up and buy some sanitary products then, shouldn't
Yes.
You brought this upon yourself.
he?
Yes.
What does
choices.
Tim cringe about? Steve, what do they cringe about?
Tim doesn't
Yeah.
cringe about anything. He just calls me a dirty wench most of the time. But not for the naughty stuff, more because he just says you need to sort yourself out.
Sitting in the bath again. Dirty wench. Stuff like that.
And stuff like this. You know, he's not. I think he's the same as you, Andrew. He his mum was pretty open, so women stuff don't really cringe him. Nothing does really. Nothing. I think Tim's that laid back and that not bothered. I think he's just in his happy place, full stop. I don't actually think he ever really entertains the world.
He's always
fully.
away, like you just look at him and you're thinking you're somewhere else.
He's thinking
You're
about his
not in
food.
the
He's
room
thinking
right
about
now.
something else.
Yeah.
His next meal.
Yeah, of course he is. Of course he is.
I don't think Steve really gets funny about anything. I think that
I'm sorry.
Come up there, Andrew.
That's what
No,
I'm thinking.
no, hang on,
That's how I
I'm
think.
just,
All right. Oh, hello.
I've just had. My child has just joined and using the
might cut that
facilities.
out.
Sorry, go on, Jean.
yeah, I don't think Steve really has a thing. He's not very keen on some of my odder eating, like when I'm cooking, my odd eating habits. He's not dead keen on that. But
What eating habits?
so like when I'm cooking, it's little stuff like if I have to use any Lurpak, like whatever gets put in the pan, I have a teaspoon. So like if it needs. She's like,
What?
do you not do that
What?
when you're
No.
eating?
Yeah.
And it's like, and you're cooking, sorry, and you're like,
Yeah.
chuck some butter in there. So it's like one
Yeah.
for the pan, one for me.
No.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I do that with cream, everything,
Yeah.
anything like that. Yeah.
And he
I know
really,
exactly
the
what you
first
mean.
time I did it, he really freaked out. Really
I would
freaked
freak out.
Why?
He was
Well,
just
what
like,
tasty
he was like, that's not a
food?
thing.
It's not a thing.
He was like,
It
that's
is a
not,
thing.
you can't eat raw butter like that. And I was like, well, it's not
You
raw.
bloody can.
You can't.
Oh my God, he is so missing out. You can't eat regular butter, but it's got to be salted Lurpak.
Well,
Okay, what do you draw the line on then, G? What do you not do the tasty with?
like raw garlic. He saw me doing it with raw potato. That freaked him out. He saw me drinking the pickled onion juice.
that's weird.
That freaked him out.
You
Saw
mean
me
vinegar?
drinking the
You mean
beetroot
vinegar?
juice.
Got pickled.
Salt.
Yeah, but it's still got
teaspoon
good
of
onion
salt.
taste in it.
Hannah does it with baby food. So she'll put a bit of baby food on the spoon and then like sort of touch it with her lips.
She's tasted. She's testing it for
every
the
single
heat.
time.
It's heat.
She's testing it so it's not
But I
hot.
haven't heated it up. Straight out of the-
I think that's more of a natural. It's probably like a natural thing.
I need.
Yeah, that would. Of course, I would. That is a bit weird though, G. A touch. It would shock me the first time I saw you do that because I never knew you did. If you literally spooned in a bit of Lurpak and then spooned one in for your gob, it would shock me.
Unfortunately, the first time he saw me drinking out of the pickled onion jar, it wasn't. Normally, I get my pickled onions out and then I have a cheeky teaspoon of it afterwards. But that day, I was like, I need this. It was like an uncontrollable craving. And he walked into the kitchen as I was glugging out of the pickled onions. I don't think the look on his face, I think, will stay with me for years. In that split second, he questioned whether the relationship
what-
continue.
What,
I know he did.
what are you going to eat when you're pregnant? Like
with a
white
monster.
bread and water.
I honestly don't know. I don't know because my little, like a raw potato to me is a lovely little snack. So it's...
Raw potato. What would even possess you to do it?
Right, we're going to blame that on Deborah because when we were little, she'd be cooking Sunday dinner and be like, Mum, starving. And she'd just be that exasperated that she'd just like throw a potato at me.
So you'd eat the potato?
Isn't that what Carol Baskin did to leave her ex-husband?
I mean, it was peeled potato, but she just like, it'd be like feeding pigeons. She'd just like throw some peeled potatoes at me and Harriet. So we'd just chomp away, and it wasn't until however many years later when I was working in the pub and the chef was getting the chips ready, and I just stuck my hand into his bowl, grabbed a couple of pieces of raw potato, and he had an absolute meltdown.
Is it dangerous? I feel like that
Yes.
should be dangerous. I feel like that's not something you should eat raw.
No, it's not. It's not. And what's made it worse is that Teddy's seen me do it. So now he asks for raw potato. So it's like, well, I can't because it's really dangerous. Well, you do it. And it's like... So I've basically made up this like Roald Dahl story that raw potato can kill kids.
Brilliant.
I just throw a mushroom at him instead. I'm like, oh, you might die. Have a mushroom. It's fine.
How is Steve getting on with your meal plans?
Yeah, we're getting there. He keeps kiboshing it a bit. So we're not meant to be drinking until... Well, we weren't meant to be drinking this month. Then we decided we won't drink until his birthday. And then he was like, oh, should we have like a steak and a nice bottle of red on Friday? And it's like, well, Big Steve, no. What's the problem with that red? No. Yeah, but it's Friday. Like that with his hands. He's like Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, but it's Friday. Right, no. You can't not have a drink at the weekend. Yeah, but right, Steve, I'm on like a 6-week weekend right now. So there's got to be a line with it. I've given in. I have to just sit him down. He tells me what he wants, and I decide whether we're actually having it.
You compromise and go with yours.
It's calmed down. I must admit, the cooking's calmed down now. I embrace a lazy tea to a point of I had freezer cod fillets last night.
That's
Homemade
still-
chips though.
Well, that's not a lazy tea. That's not a lazy tea.
So
I
for
love
me,
your
that's
version.
lazy.
I was about to say, I love your version of a lazy tea. I wish I just had that. That would be my posh tea.
Yeah, that was my lazy tea last night. Couldn't be bothered.
There's nothing wrong with that. Well, we've got. Well, is it 6 weeks or is it 7 weeks we've got left? What is it? 6.5?
Mid-Feb? 6?
6 weeks ago.
See what
Well,
they say.
there's going to be another few more weeks of this podcasting lark anyway, isn't there? Hopefully I'll get me. I need to sort my bath out because this is not comfy.
You're not going to swap your bath, are you?
No, I'm fine in the bath because obviously in water you're not fully weighted in, are you?
Yeah.
Although I did warn him that the sealant would need to be. You need to put weights in. You know when you do the sealant, you put the water in.
Yes.
I said you need to put weights in. He said no, it's fine. He filled the bath half up and put the sealant on. And I said, Tim, that ain't a bath, mate. I don't know what you've done, but you've put a puddle in there. You need to fill it all the way to the top. And he said, no, it'll be fine. Guess what's happening with the seal?
Is it already coming off?
Of course it is. When you spend 45 minutes in a bath with a full... Literally, I've got a skill where I have it just underneath the overflow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Don't pull that face, Andrew. If you say to me, Gee, do you want a bath? You are putting me in a confined space for 2 hours. A 45-minute bath, that's a quick wet
It's
shot.
cold after
There's
how
nothing.
long?
Don't it?
20 minutes.
No, right.
not
You have to
your
get
refill.
in. You get in at a certain temperature. It's that temperature where you are technically burning yourself.
Yeah.
But once you're in it, it doesn't really matter. And
Now
then
your body adjusts.
And then when you move your limbs, when you swish about, when you're having that little split second where you pretend you're a mermaid, when you swish your limbs about, and then you're like, oh, it's still really hot. That's nice. And then you just have to let it out and then let it settle, top it back up. There's a
Yeah.
whole science to it. But
Then
yeah,
what
it's
are
a
you
long
doing, sitting there?
process.
Reading anything or?
sitting there, reading a book, read the news,
Put
check
something
TikTok,
on the
do a bit of
iPad.
social media. Sometimes I close my eyes and I play like a little ocean sound and pretend I'm just in sea. Yeah, just whatever gets you through.
I never, ever had baths. I had a gorgeous bathroom and I never, ever went in it until I had to move in with G. And she unleashed me to the world of baths. And now
I didn't get in there with her, by the way, because that made it sound like I went in
she
there
just
with...
showed me
Happy place.
like
happy
how
place.
it works and what to do.
Are you cringing? Are you cringing? Are you cringing?
Oh, yeah. There's nothing I crave more nowadays than a bath. That's my priority at the next place. Definitely, I need my own bath.
Yes.
It's a bit of a self-care thing. It's weird. I don't actually now. I crave it more just for that. It's my moment of stopping, the not thinking and stopping. It's lovely.
Yeah.
It's made such a difference to my mental health. Well, because I was pretty stressed about Tim finishing it, so I think that's probably part of the thing that's helped.
Moving
Anyway.
forward, it will help with the mental health.
Yeah, moving forward. Right, my gorgeous people listening, we've done a nice, I don't think we've done about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we just remove the pointless minutes at the beginning when Andrew was messing around.
But I don't think people will be even hearing that. Because if Andrew actually does, he'll be a producer, won't he, and cut it out?
He'll be a
I would have
producer.
thought.
He might just be
Maybe.
an editor, just leave it in.
Have you seen the amount of messages we get on Five Birds on Instagram? If you want to have a professional edit of your podcast, please contact us now.
Oh, does that make you cringe, Andrew?
They've got the reels on Instagram.
I love it. I almost want to email them.
Thousands of views. Reels. The reel.
The
No,
what,
sorry.
sorry?
5 Birds and a Mic. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, Emily Bridal Wear Reels. Got thousands of views.
Yeah.
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 Brilliant.
Yeah.
Check it out if you haven't.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Andrew, for the little plug. To be fair, we should actually put them on Five Birds, but I have to press buttons and I can't be bothered. I need to just do it. We'll do it. You need to get it out there. Like you said, Andrew, not enough people can appreciate the bird talk. We need more people to appreciate the bird talk, don't we? So like and share us. We'll do some more. We'll do something. We've got some time. Andrew's got plenty of time now. Now the in-law, he's got live-in in-laws, so he'll be sorted with his 3 Labradors.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the glories of living with your in-laws, hey? Yeah, it's great. It's great.
It's fine.
Keep his eyes.
I can see the tears.
Can see the tears. I can smell your fear.
Yeah. Right, everybody stay safe, and we shall speak to you in a week.
Yeah. Bye.
Should we say bye? Should we say bye? We'll say bye.
Bye.
Meg, are you going to say bye? Are you going to say bye, Meg?
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Like a child leaving nursery. Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Are you going to say thank you, Meg?
Clap.
Are you gonna say
Bye.
Thank you.